see I'm live. Hello. So I'm hoping I'm audible and people are able to hear me properly. If somebody could, just comment down. So while people join in, hi, I'm Khyati. Think we went a minute live early today. But nevertheless, so normally what we do with the weekend workshop is just give me a moment, just opening all my chats so that I can see. Okay. So normally what we do with our lives on weekend is that we try and make one project using Craftangle's product. Now that could be mixed media, art journal, regular journaling, decoupage, which we have been doing a lot lately. Or, it could be mixed media, which we also do a lot. We also do like art cast resin with Anamika. So we try and, cover a lot of different art forms. So that is what we try and do every weekend so that you guys can enjoy our products live, and in case of queries, technical queries, etc., like what goes in our mind when we are doing using a particular product, etc., you could always ask us in live. So that's the idea that we try and have with our weekend workshops. Now, for those of you who are joining us for first time, I'm Khyati. Normally, we do this two-person live where we have one of our designer who is making the project, and I normally be the host, where I'm looking at the chats and answering your queries, and at the same time, we are talking about the project, etc. So this weekend also, I had a free slot, so I thought rather than not doing anything, I will make a project using the new products that we just launched. I think I think not 3 4 days, I think more than a week back. But it is something that I used in my live, also in my last live, and the festive collection is something which I was very itching to use in my current live. Hi everybody, I am kind of looking at two chats. So I'm looking at chats on YouTube as well, Facebook, as well as the chats on Instagram. So please, pardon in case I'm not able to see both the chats. Hello, Studio Dhara. Hello, Kavita. So without any further wait, let's start. And in case, guys, if you are interested in looking on a bigger screen, etc., you could always move on to our YouTube and Facebook, which has like a larger screen as compared to Instagram, which is like, I feel, a smaller screen. But we are trying to be live on all three channels. So irrespective of whatever social media you follow, you would be able to see us. So I will move the table, like the view, to my tabletop so that you can see what we'll be making today. So just give me a second. Okay. Okay, so today, before I get into what today's projects are, now today's project is going to be something festive and exciting. So I hope you are excited for that. But before I get into that, this was what we made in our last live. I think last to last weekend, and this was a very popular reel. Like a lot of people wanted to know how I made this, and we got a lot of comments and views. So this is what we did in our last live. You can find this live on our YouTube, Facebook, and our both the Facebook and YouTube. On Instagram, we normally don't keep our lives, but you could definitely check our YouTube and Facebook for the same. You can DM us for the link and we'll share the link. Here we spoke about how to use napkin on napkin technique. We spoke about how you can create, two different looks using the exact same chalk paint but blending them differently. And we also talked about how we create this resin kind of a look, but with something which is a one part product, which is our liquid glaze, which does not have, it's not like resin where you have to mix stuff, etc. So you could check this tutorial out for that. Now, I think almost a month back, I did another popular project, which was very popular. So this was what we created. This scene it was quite a lengthy. Did a lot of techniques in this. Again, this is available on our YouTube and I think also available on our Facebook. But what I wanted to show you is we got a lot of queries on what is the base that we have used. So the base that we have used at that point of time, that was out of stock, but now it is back in stock. This is chipboard, Craftangle's chipboard, 2000 GSM. So you can see it's quite thick. It is very similar to MDF, but it is lightweight. So since I plan to use this to make like a collage wall, I wanted to keep something light. So that is what I'm using. Hello, Zia. So this is the chipboard that I'm going to use today also. For those of you who did not see my last live, And I have kind of cut this out to make it like a thinner panel because I'm going to use a thinner panel. Now here I have added 2 coats of gesso white, okay, just to prime everything so that, we can directly get started. Yeah. Now on the today's project, right? As I had shown you in my sneak peek, I plan to use these our festive napkins. These are also available in transfer, a little bit different design, but it is available. So this is what I plan to use. This is called as Lord Ganesha. So if you search on our website, search Lord Ganesh, you will find this napkin. I have already used 2 pieces of this napkin, which tutorials I'm going to share quite like in an upcoming month or so. So this I have used to kind of create a potli with Ganpati. Okay, it has a lot of gilding, etc. done. And I also, this is washable. So I'm going to put a reel where I'll show you how washable it is, etc. and how to create that. And then this is kind of, I was trying out a couple of techniques, and we are going to do a larger version of this, but with something different techniques. But we are going to make something similar. So this is like a wall panel that you could make. Now again, I have created like a panel sort of thing because that's what I'm going to do for my wall in my office. But you could definitely put molds here and kind of use a thicker base to create like a prop, etc. And you could also do this on a nameplate, etc. if you want to gift it to somebody for this festival. Again, there are a lot of ideas. Base will change, but the techniques will remain same. So here I have kind of done quite a few techniques. This how I created this whole look is what I'm going to show today. And then if you see closely, I have created this entire peel paint look. So this look I am going to share in my YouTube, because I don't want to, just do same copy paste here also, there also. But this is the whole peeled paint kind of a crackle effect look. If you can see here probably better. So this I have created using our crackle paste. I'll share that in detail in my YouTube tutorial on how I did this crackle effect. And this is what we'll be doing today also. So this is a clay piece. So I have kind of created this plaque, which says Shri Ganesha Nama. And this is what we'll be doing today also. And then I'll talk about how we blend all this, etc. But that is the vision for today. Okay. Thank you, Kavita. So I will start off with the design that I want to use. So I'll start off with this particular napkin. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Always the leftover, you can always use it in different projects, but today we'll be using this one. I'll try and cut it out as close by to design as possible. For that, I'm using some water, plain old water, nothing else. Now, since this has a lot of watercolor background around it, I am trying to take that only, and I'm trying to remove as much white as possible so that मेरा उतना blending का काम कम होगा. I like this kind of watercolor look जहाँ पे there is already that halo of colors. So उस cases में we have to do less blending if we remove a lot of white. As always, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. And in case I miss out on your question, you can always ask again because, as I said, I'm kind of looking at 2 chats and at the same time making a project. So this is what we'll be using today. Now, before I actually get into the Now, before I actually get into the whole decoupage thing, okay? So just to show you that this is where I'm going to put my Ganpati. Now, since my Ganpati is ready, and I'll just kind of outline it here so that मेरे को idea हो कि यहाँ पे मेरे गणपति आएंगे तो I don't want to do a lot of texture effect that I'm going to do with paint. Okay, so I'm just marking my area very roughly with a pencil. Okay, just marking it with a pencil. Now I will work on my clay. Now for clay, no, honestly, you could use anything. Like I know a lot of people use molded clay, etc. Now I already have a lot of air dry clay that I want to, like finish it over because I used to have a lot of them for my molds, etc. So I'll be using that clay, but feel free to use, any clay of your choice. Like we sell a lot of Jovi clay, Jack's clay, mold it, etc. So you could, honestly use anything out of that lot. Now I think this is a little bit extra. I'm using this Mungyo Sculpt Dry Clay. Hello, Shalu. So this is what I'm using, Mungyo Sculpt Dry. Now this doesn't crack because I know the next question people will have is, does the clay crack? This clay doesn't crack. I had in fact even dried it with a heat tool. So this is fine, but it's a bit stiff. So आपको थोड़ा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, ठीक है? एंड अगर आपको लगे कि जैसे मेरी क्ले थोड़ी ड्राई हो गई है क्योंकि बहुत टाइम से पड़ी है, तो आई कैन पुट अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ वाटर, okay, just to kind of rehydrate, just thoda bahut, don't overdo it. We are making a festive wall decor piece, Queen of Crafters. Just showed the sample in the start, but don't worry, you'll see what we are making. Something exciting with Ganpati napkin. Okay. So अभी हम इसको बेलेंगे. Yeah. For that you could, use anything. मैं normally ऐसे bottle use करती हूँ जिसमें थोड़ा पानी भरा हो, ताकि it kind of gives me that energy, मतलब weight. Yeah. Again, it takes a lot of muscle. That's the only problem with air dry clay as compared to paper clay. इसमें काफी मेहनत लगती है. ठीक है, आई एम जस्ट चेकिंग कि मेरा गणपति के साथ क्ले का पीस कितना बड़ा होना चाहिए. ठीक है, सो दिस इज वेयर आवर गणपति विल गो एंड माय क्ले पीस विल बी लाइक दिस. थोड़ा मैं लंबा करती हूँ, स्क्वायरिश. एंड जो भी आपका साइज होगा उससे थोड़ा लंबा रखिएगा बिकॉज वी काइंड ऑफ वांट टू क्रिएट द होल प्लेक लाइक एन इफेक्ट, राइट? सो आई थिंक वी नीड लिटिल बिट मोर. थोड़ा पतला हो गया. आओ. This is the most time consuming part. Then once this is ready, we will be off to doing the fun part, which is playing with colors. So bear with me, guys. प्लस मेरा ये प्लैक भी वो वाले से बहुत बड़ा है, तो आई नीड मोर क्ले. आप इसे पतला भी रख सकते थे जैसा मैंने प्रीवियस किया था, बट मुझे थोड़ा मोटा रखना है बिकॉज आई वांट टू क्रिएट द होल क्ले वाला लुक. तो ये थिकनेस रख रही हूँ मैं। ठीक है, अभी मैं आई एम गोइंग टू कट एक्सेस एंड आई एम गोइंग टू कीप इट लाइक अ रेक्टेंगुलर शेप। ठीक है, मैं हाथ से तोड़ रही हूँ बिकॉज़ आई वांट टू क्रिएट लाइक दैट हैंड वाला इफेक्ट। So you can see the effect that we are getting. Yeah. We'll keep the excess aside. And this is air dry clay, guys. So तुरंत बंद कर देना इसको. I'll ask someone to close it off. एंड इसको हम थोड़ी देर ड्राई करने रख देते हैं क्योंकि बाय द टाइम वील कंप्लीट द कलरिंग एंड ऑल थोड़ा ये ड्राई हो जाएगा फॉर आवर नेक्स्ट स्टेप। आई जस्ट वॉश माय हैंड्स एंड कम दे आर वेरी डर्टी। जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट। Okay, so now we are back to the fun part. Abhi not just not to waste the. What I have done is I have removed the paint and kept them ready. So these are the colors that we are going to use. Now colors of course are inspired from the same napkin that we are using. So if you see it has yellow, orange and red in it. So those are the colors that we are using. Again, as I said, we are going for something which is very colorful. So we are going for something like this. So as you can see, it is extremely colorful and vibrant plus very festive. So हम वही करने वाले हैं. तो अभी हम कलर्स के लिए यूज करेंगे रूबी रेड, ऑरेंज स्क्वाश एंड लेमन टार्ट, sorry, lemon drop. So these are the three shades of chalk paint that we are using. I have already kept them ready. थोड़े ड्राई होने लग जाते हैं इसके लिए काइंड ऑफ स्प्रिट्स देम विथ वाटर. ओके, सो अभी हम लोग इस पे क्या करने वाले हैं, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू पेंट विथ अ ब्रश, रादर वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ टेक्सचर. So for creating a texture, what we are going to use is our palette. Okay. So we are going to use our palette knives to create very interesting texture. Now this will create a very abstract look. और ये लेयर पे लेयर पूरा कलर का इफेक्ट आएगा जो नॉर्मली हमको सिंगल लेयर की एप्लीकेशन पे विथ ब्रश नहीं आता है. ठीक है. शिट, माय टेबल इज लिटिल बिट, वर्किंग एरिया इज थोड़ा स्मॉल, सम काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रगलिंग विथ प्लेसमेंट. ठीक है. सो वील फर्स्ट स्टार्ट ऑफ विथ येलो. ओके, एंड येलो हम लोग, सो अगेन द आइडिया इज हम लोग कोने में करेंगे, हम इतना एरिया वाइट रखेंगे क्योंकि इस पे हमको नैपकिन लगाना है. ठीक है. So all you do is take your paint in palette and simply apply. Now my yellow is a little bit thin क्योंकि मैंने उसमें थोड़ा ज़्यादा पानी डाल दिया था कि वो सूखे नहीं उसके लिए. बट नॉर्मली जो रेड का कंसिस्टेंसी होता है वो होगा. मेरा थोड़ा येलो पतला हो गया. सो आप देख सकते हो मैंने palette knife से डाला है, so you can see the texture it is creating, right? It will not give you that 100% coverage and it will start creating texture. So we don't have to cover the entire area with one paint, rather we will cover them in certain section. We are going to go horizontal and vertical. ठीक है. And then we are going to layer one paint on top of the other to kind of create the whole palette texture. So you can see I'm moving my palette, कभी horizontal, कभी vertical, और हर लेयर के बीच में हम उसे ड्राई करेंगे. Now we will apply the second color. So मैं actually I'm going from lighter to darker and then I'll go from darkest to lightest. So that's how I'm going to go. But depending on your colors, you could go anyhow you want. Yeah. As I said, कहीं पे भी आप play with horizontal and in certain areas start overlapping also. So if you see मैंने यहाँ पे overlap किया है तो यहाँ पे येलो का टेक्सचर इतना था कि मेरा सिर्फ इधर थोड़े थोड़े एरियाज में लगा. सो दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि जैसे जैसे हम लेयर डालेंगे वैसे वैसे वो टेक्सचर बढ़ता जाएगा और आप 100% आपको लेयर के ऊपर लेयर कलर के दिखेंगे. दैट यू विल अंडरस्टैंड ओनली वंस वी डू इट. अभी अगर आपको इस पे काफी मोटा टेक्सचर लाइक दिस इज कंपैरेटिवली फ्लैटर, अगर आपको इस पे काफी टेक्सचर करना हो तो you can add our clear texture paste with these colors and you can apply it like a texture paste. So that will give you even thicker textures. That I'll probably try and show you in one of the other lives so you can see the difference that I was talking about. But you could definitely combine this with texture paste also. Yeah. Again, the idea is not 100% coverage जो हम लोग layers में भरेंगे. We'll try this again. Okay. Now we'll go with red. Hi Parvati, thank you. The colors are really like the star of the show. Red always like to go less क्योंकि red as you can see is very overpowering. So it is very easy कि red सबको cover कर ले. And if you are into art journal, like this will make a beautiful background for art journaling. Now we are of course doing kind of like a mixed media decoupage with this, but I can already see this being a very interesting uh, texture for art journaling as well. Now, don't feel bad if it is too colorful and too it looks too messy. It will settle down once we. नाउ अगर आपका दिमाग में ये आइडिया है कि आपको थोड़ा व्हाइट स्पेस दिखाना है, यू वांट टू प्ले विथ लाइक rather than going all out with colors, if you want to kind of keep it white and black, you could also keep this as is. मतलब इसको आप यहीं पे यू कैन स्टॉप एंड दिस हैज लाइक इनफ कलर्स दैट आप सीधा बीच में डेकोपाज करके ब्लेंड करके कर सकते हो, सो दैट विल गिव यू काइंड ऑफ एन लाइक अ ओल्ड वुड, chipped wood kind of an effect. But we are going to cover most of it kyunki, as I said, this is going to be like a colorful project which is completely out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to give this a try. So again we are moving back with yellow. You can see in certain places, if the colors have not dried, they are kind of mixing, but that's cool. We are kind of getting a fourth and fifth shade, which is going to be interesting to see how they blend. Yes, Kavita. This technique is knife painting. Normally abstract artists use this a lot with acrylics to kind of, create the whole knife painting kind of an effect. So a lot of acrylic artists use this to kind of, create paintings. So you can see यहाँ पे मेरा knife even though flat है टच ही नहीं हो रहा है क्योंकि इधर already paint का काफी texture. So using just the texture of the paint, you are able to get such beautiful effect. And again, blues and greens will be another interesting combination जो आप try कर सकते हो. You can go monochromes. You could use blacks and whites. You could use browns and yellows. But मुझे, as I said, I wanted to do something which is out of my comfort zone and colors. अभी लास्ट आई विल पुट अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ येलो, क्योंकि एज आई सेड रेड इज वेरी ओवरपावरिंग, तो वो रेड को ब्रेक करने के लिए वी आर गोइंग टू पुट अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ येलो. एंड वी विल कीप दिस असाइड फॉर लेटर. क्या थोड़ा पानी डाल के, ताकि सूखे नहीं पेंट. विल ट्राई दिस. Now, if you see in close up, right, तो आप देख सकते हो पूरा literally this looks like a old chip का wooden chipped looking piece. अगर मैं इसको पूरा कलर कर लेती तो वैसा ही लगता है. This could have easily been the only technique that we do. But हम लोग इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा blending भी करेंगे, क्योंकि हम यहाँ पे napkin डालने वाले हैं. That's going to blend. Okay. So now I want to blend napkin. अभी इधर थोड़ा मेरा color लग गया है. So I'm going to use some white chalk paint to kind of add a coat here. Just the brushes. And we are going to take some white chalk paint. Okay. I'm just going to add it in the center. थैंक्स कविता. यस, एक्चुअली मेरे को आई वांटेड टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट. नॉर्मली हम लोग काफ़ी विंटेज प्रोजेक्ट्स ही करते हैं. सो आई थॉट आज हम थोड़ा अलग करते हैं. विल काइंड ऑफ चार्टर इनटू अननोन टेरिटरीज. नाउ गोइंग बैक टू द सैंपल पीस, सिंस हमने इतने पतले-पतले लेयर्स लगाए, राइट? तो इसके ऊपर अगर मैं क्रैकल कर रही हूँ, तो जो पतला लेयर ऑफ येलो है, दैट्स क्रैक्ड एंड इट इज़ काइंड ऑफ टेयरिंग ऑफ द लेयर ऑफ द पेंट एंड इट इज़ showing through the red underneath. So that is how you get this whole peeled paint effect with, adding these layers of colors one on top of the other and then adding crackle paste. Okay, so that you could easily achieve. Now this, since I'm already going to share, I thought हम लोग आज कुछ अलग करेंगे. We are not going to do crackle, but ऐसे आप पूरा peeled paint effect कर सकते हो and you could do like browns and उसके ऊपर color करके you could create this whole effect. अभी हम पहले डेकोपाज का अपना नैपकिन लगाएंगे, which is going to be like this. ठीक है, एंड देन हम लोग इसके आजू-बाजू हमारा पूरा ब्लेंडिंग करेंगे. Okay. So for this, and this time I'm going to use like a cling wrap method. Normally I do the folder method, which you have seen me using a lot. So मैंने सोचा आज cling wrap method करेंगे हम. और क्लिंग रैप के लिए दिस इज द क्लिंग रैप दैट आई यूज. दिस इज easy. This is available on Amazon. I got it from Amazon. Now we're going to use Decoupage glue. Thanks, Shalu. Yeah. And I'm going to get a brush. I'm diluting my glue with water because that's always easier to use with napkins. You should always, like, dilute your glue if it is very thick. Now, Craft Angle's glue is comparatively thicker, but don't worry, once it is dry, it is going to dry clear and matte. Okay. So, abhi main, how am I going to work with cling wrap is keep your cling wrap ready. एक बार ऊपर से आप प्लेसमेंट देख लीजिए where you want. Okay. And then हल्के हाथ से आप my hand is a little bit sticky. तो मैंने सेंटर में दबा दिया. ठीक है. And then what I'll do is using a cling wrap, मैं सेंटर से उसको साइड में मूव करते जाऊंगी. ठीक है. And since this is cling wrap, it is not sticky. So it is not going to stick and tear down your napkin. Yeah. अभी हमारा एक कोट हमने लगा लिया. मेक श्योर एजेस बराबर बर्निश हो गया. चिपक गया कि एजेस से ही खुलने के चांसेस ज्यादा रहते हैं. क्या. एंड देन विल गो बैक विद ग्लू. थोड़ा एक ड्राई कर देते हैं. Absolutely, Gavita. This will look good with everything, honestly. But as I said, I wanted to try some colors. In fact, yeah, I can see with blacks, monochromes, it will look very nice. और आप गोल्ड को भी incorporate कर सकते हो while painting. As she said, silver की जगह you could have taken gold here also and just let a little bit of gold show through. That would have also looked very nice. हम गोल्ड ऊपर से डालेंगे. So, like a last final step. Just making sure I'm adding enough glue ताकि ये पूरा कवर हो जाए. क्या. And we are done with the glue का काम. अभी हम इसको नेचुरली थोड़ा ड्राई होने देंगे. अभी यहाँ पे यू हैव टू ऑप्शंस. एक आप इसको पेंट से ब्लेंड कर सकते हो या फिर यू कुड कंटिन्यू दिस टेक्निक दैट वी डिड. ठीक है. अभी आई विल नॉट कंटिन्यू बिकॉज आई वांट थोड़ा पेंट का इफेक्ट क्योंकि मेरे को काफी सीमलेस करना है जैसा मैंने यहाँ किए. ठीक है. यहाँ यू कैन सी इट्स क्वाइट सीमलेस. So that is what we'll be doing. So for that I'll use my brushes. Now I'll move on to smaller brushes क्योंकि थोड़ा minute करना है. अभी यहाँ पे I may need a little bit of brown. Okay. So for that I'll take a little bit of chocolate syrup which is a brown क्योंकि यहाँ पे हल्का सा brown है. मेरे को काफ़ी थोड़ा ही लगेगा, तो मैं ये बॉटल के इसी में से ले लूँगी, ढक्कन में से। ओके, तो अभी हम शुरू करेंगे। पहले मैं आई एम गोइंग विथ रेड काइंड ऑफ इन द एरियाज़। टिश्यू, टिश्यू रो। Then we'll get in with a little bit of brown. Now, agar if you're not comfortable, mixing colors directly on the panel, you can always mix the color on a palette and then, apply them. I'm quite comfortable. In fact, I find this easier. So that is why I like to mix directly on the panel. I feel I have an option to kind of make it more shade wahin pe changes. So I find it easier to do that here. अभी मेरा कंसंट्रेशन सिर्फ इतने एरियाज में है, फिर मैं इधर बाद में ब्लेंड करूंगी, ओनली अराउंड द गणपति। ओके, गोइंग टू टेक अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ ब्राउन। नाउ मेक श्योर आप गलती से अगर इफ यू आर डूइंग इट ऑन द नैपकिन, आप तुरंत साफ कर लो, क्योंकि चॉक पेंट आर ओपेक, तो अगर आप उसको नैपकिन के डिजाइन के ऊपर करोगे तो दे विल काइंड ऑफ मिक्स विथ योर नैपकिन एंड योर डिजाइन विल बी लेस विजिबल, सो इट विल लूज इट्स वाइब्रेंसी एंड विजिबिलिटी। सो अगर आपको लग रहा है आप गलती से नैपकिन के कर रहे हो, तो काइंड ऑफ रिमूव इट। ठीक है। तो हियर सिंस आई पूरा मेरे को इतना ब्राउन ब्राउन रेड रेड ब्राउन पैच नहीं चाहिए, तो आई एम काइंड ऑफ मिक्सिंग इट एंड इंट्रोड्यूसिंग सम लिटिल बिट ऑफ येलो एंड ऐसा, जस्ट टू काइंड ऑफ क्रिएट कलर वेरिएशन। द ब्यूटी अबाउट एक्रिलिक्स इज आपको सब कुछ एक बार में नहीं करना है। अगर आपको लग रहा है कि मतलब बहुत फ्लैट हो रहा है, बहुत ब्लेंडेड हो रहा है और मुझे यहाँ पे जो एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लुक है वो कंटिन्यू करना है, लेट दिस ड्राई। उसके ऊपर गो बैक विथ पैलेट नाइफ व्हिच आई विल बी डूइंग हियर, एंड यू कैन काइंड ऑफ ऐड सेकंड लेयर, एंड सिंस इट इज ओपेक इट विल हाइड योर व्हाटएवर ब्लेंडिंग यू हैव डन, इफ दैट्स द वे यू वांट टू गो। Just adding a little bit of orange here and there, क्योंकि I feel orange is kind of missing near the Ganpati. So wherever I feel I can add orange and blend it with the background, I'm adding it. Okay. Now यहाँ पे हल्का सा you can see there's a little bit brownish color, right? So we'll take a little bit of brown and we will kind of blend it with the yellow that we have added. Okay. Make sure डिजाइन के ऊपर, मतलब वो भगवान के हाथ में जो चीजें हैं उस पे ना लगे। यहाँ पे रेड इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द नैपकिन, सो वी आर मर्जिंग इट विथ रेड। Okay. Dry this first. Now we can see here pura brown is beautifully blended, but here you can see it's not blended, just to show you the difference, right? So we'll follow the same thing here. We will take a little bit of brown, very little bit, like teeny tiny, and we will start blending it around. Okay. मेक श्योर डिजाइन के ऊपर अगर आपको लग रहा है जा रहा है तो आप उसको निकालते जाओ हैंड टू हैंड. Yeah. So now you can see both the sides are blended. Okay. So now what I want to do is यहाँ पे जो ये blended है ना उसके साथ ही मेरे को वापस I want to like move it to the palette look. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of brown in a palette and I'm going to apply it here. क्योंकि यहाँ पे brown है तो I'll take a little bit. I don't want a lot. So you can see how little I'm taking, right? So I'll start applying that and I'll start it adding here and there. मतलब again, it's a call. Initially मेरा plan नहीं था डालना, but I feel it goes well यहाँ पे. So I'm going to add थोड़ा सा. If it is something you don't want a dark color, then you could definitely, skip it. Again, just for interest, don't do like एक ही direction में, like do a little bit horizontal, little bit vertical. Don't add a lot, guys. Brown is a very dark color. It is very easy to use it to overpower other colors. Yeah. So don't go overboard. I'm done with brown. So abhi what I'm going to do is now see what colors you would like to add. जैसे यहाँ पे काफी yellows है, तो I think I can break this little bit with orange. यहाँ पे I see a lot of oranges and reds, so I'll put a little bit of yellow here to kind of balance things out. Okay, so you could always go with one final kind of like a touch up. And again, this is an iterative process. जब तक you are happy, you can put as many layers as you want. This is going to be my last layer for the colors. Then we'll move on to some mixed media stuff. Thank you everyone. Yes, please do try. I think it's looking fun. अभी हमें क्या करना है कि अभी before we do anything else, we are going to do some stenciling. Now before I do stenciling, let me check on my clay. So let's not forget हमारा clay इधर आने वाला है, ठीक है? तो it is quite dry. तो अभी इस पे हम पहले carving कर लेंगे while this dries. ठीक है? So this is that clay piece that we had created. अभी I'll take my knife and this. Okay. So now there are two options. अगर आप लिखने में you are not comfortable writing on top of this, you could definitely take a printout और उसके through trace it and then apply it on clay. I am going to write it क्योंकि मुझे रिस्क लेना बड़ा पसंद है. So I'm going to write. So this is what I wrote. This is again handwritten, but the fonts were smaller. So अभी since the piece is a little bigger, मैं थोड़ा इसको बड़ा करूंगी. So I'll go with a pencil first ताकि कुछ भी थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे हो तो I'll go with a light hand and then to carve I'll use my knife. Okay. So before I do anything, I'm just going to divide it in three parts. So this is going to say Shri. Here is going to come Ganeshai. Okay. And then here we will do Nama, like here. Okay. So I'm kind of dividing it in three parts. Yeah. So I'm writing Shri. Okay. And I'm going with bigger fonts. Take your time with it. If you are doing calligraphy, then मतलब जो आप कॉपी करने वाले हो उसका इमेज सामने रख के it's easier what font you are trying to do. Ganeshai. And then now, if you are into lip pen and all, right? A lot of people do lip pen. तो आप वो पतला पतला clay का करके you can actually like curve it and write it with that. You could also write with a glue gun on top of like a plain mota like a MDF piece or a chipboard like this. You could also do with that with glue gun. That I have already done for one of my Ganpati home decor. So I'm not going to do the same technique. मेरे को कुछ अलग करना था. So that is why I'm using clay. ठीक है? तो अभी मैं I'm going with my paper knife and I'm kind of starting to do engraving on the clay. ठीक है? Using this clay. Using this knife. Just to show you. So this is how it looks. Okay? And then we will kind of paint it so it will look even further deep. Remove the excess. It is just like writing with pen, so काफ़ी simple, it's not very complicated. Once you get hang of it, then I'm going to add the 2 dashes. Okay. We just to make it more smooth, I'll take a little bit of water in my hand. Yeah. And I will smoothen out the whatever, like, there are any inconsistency. And we'll let this dry. So now while that is drying, we will move on to adding textures to our plate. Okay. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this particular stencil, which is Damastilite. Okay. And I am going to use, going to have to, and I'm going to use clear texture paste. Now you could have used crackle paste also to get that effect, but आज हम लोग clear texture paste use करेंगे. So how this clear texture paste is, it will dry clear. It's just going to add the texture, which then we are going to enhance with gold. ठीक है, तो हम waxing type technique भी करेंगे end में. I'm going to take some clear texture paste and I'll start applying the paste. Okay, you can see how the paste is. And I'm going to apply here. As always, in case you have any queries, please feel free, comment. But you'll see once this is dry, even though right now it looks white, it will completely dry off. Now this is an idea. अगर आपको white करना होता तो you could have done white also. That would have also looked interesting. As I said, if you would have kept little bit of white here and there, और अगर आपको white के साथ करना होता तो that would have also looked nice. My plate is a little bit larger than 12 inches. So I have to like extend my stencil. But you can see how crisp the stenciling is coming, right? So that's the beauty of texture paste. I forgot I had to keep a box to wash these stencils. So I'll have to ask somebody to wash it for me. But bottom line, this is the stenciling that we have done. Okay. Now just clear off the side before it dries, because once it's dry, it's permanent. Okay. Remove all the excess from the sides. Yeah. We will now with clear, what happens is, अगर आप इसको air dry करोगे तो this will dry clear. अगर आप उसको heat dry करोगे तो it will dry translucent, because it is not getting enough time to naturally air dry. ठीक है? So we want this to naturally air dry ताकि ये सिर्फ हमें glossy finish दे and it will not dry translucent. Okay, so we'll let this dry for a few minutes and then we'll do air dry. थोड़ा I just want the top layer to dry completely off. Now, while that dries, let us move on to our clay piece. In an ideal world where you are drying this off naturally, let this dry naturally. Abhi, since we are doing live, तो मैं इसको air dry कर रही हूँ. But don't let this naturally dry. Don't use heat gun. So dry the back थोड़ा. Okay. So now that this is like kind of touch dry हुआ है, 100% dry नहीं है, but it's good, it's workable. So you can see अभी कि this is how it looks. Okay. And now we are going to paint on top of it with a color. Now here I had chosen red and like I had added hints of brown. So you could have used, and honestly, any color of your choice. You could have gone any color over here, that whatever you have used. You could have also for contrast used a brown also. However, sticking, I'll also go with red because it's like a shubh color. So I'll go with red. Okay. So I'll paint this with red first. You can see how easily it takes paint. It is like the clay is really good, no issues. Don't worry about the sides पे हम कुछ और भी करेंगे, तो it's fine. I'm going to use a little bit of brown. And don't worry if you cannot see the writing, it's fine. हम लोग थोड़ा उसको बाद में gold से we are going to enhance it. Okay, I'm just taking a little bit of brown, kind of to make it a little bit aged looking, red. सिंस वी वांट एन ओपेक रेड, हम लोग और एक कोट रेड का करेंगे, जस्ट टू मेक श्योर के कहीं कुछ छूटा नहीं है। वी विल गो बैक और थोड़ा कॉर्नर से हम लोग, ताकि फिनिश लगे इफ पीपल आर वाचिंग फ्रॉम द साइड्स, सो वी विल काइंड ऑफ कवर इट फ्रॉम द साइड्स एज वेल। ठीक है? हेलो। ओके, सो दैट इज इट ऑन द रेड। थोड़ा यहाँ पे the kind of white clay stuck onto it. Let me just add a little bit of red here. Okay. Okay. So that's it. We have painted this with red. Okay. Now we'll work on the gold part. Okay. Mm. It's still wet. We'll dry this. Yeah. Now comes adding the fun detailing with gold texture paste. So for that, we are actually going to use gold texture paste because I want a very thick, like an opaque layer on the corners. Okay, just like how we did here. तो यहाँ पे काफ़ी ओपेक लेयर साइड में लगी हुई है, व्हिच इज़ काइंड ऑफ कीपिंग इट एनहांसिंग इट एज़ कंपेयर्ड टू द रेस्ट ऑफ द बैकग्राउंड. So that is what we are going to do here also. हाँ, राइट कविता, वी कुड हैव डन दैट बट मैंने इतना सोचा नहीं, बट या गुड गुड आइडिया. हेलो पेपर सिज़र स्टूडियो, हेलो हृदया मेड विथ लव. ओके, सो अभी मैं इस पे थोड़ा आई एम गोइंग टू रिमूव द ये paint, the paste. Okay. I need some clean water, so I'll get another water. Okay. Also need a palette knife to remove some paste. So normally the paste is pretty thick, but what I do is I like to use it as a what like a watercolor also. So that is why I normally add a little bit of water and keep it so that I can use that water like watercolor. So I have removed some golden texture paste. Over here it may look beigey, but once dry it is like completely golden. Yeah. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a brush. Okay. And we are going to use brush, this like a paint, like a thick paint rather than a paste, and we are going to apply this like so, okay, with a brush. So what this will do is it will kind of give you that gilding flakes kind of a look, but without the texture, and it will give you a completely opaque coverage. Right now it may look brown, as I said, once it is dry, it will be completely golden color. And then we'll use it like a color with a paintbrush to apply it inside. Okay. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm taking a fine brush. So this is a fine brush. Taking a little bit of fresh water. Yeah, diluting it like a watercolor. But this will be our own acrylic color, because once this is dry, this is going to be completely permanent. Okay. And then I'm going to just add colors here. Now, since we have done indentations, it's going like we carved inside it, right? So अभी ये जहाँ पे भी carving है वहाँ पे सब gold color हो जाएगा. Okay. Then you can take a tissue and rub it. Okay. It's still wet actually. The red is still wet. We'll have to wait. So I'll probably let this dry before I do it, because the clay is still wet over the red area, and we'll let this gold dry and then we'll do that. While that is drying, we'll complete this part. Normally, all these I let air dry, but unfortunately, with live, we don't have that option. So, yes. So, this is the piece, right? Here is where we have done all the texturing and stenciling. Okay. So now if you see closely, right, all of it is completely dry. This is just glossy shine that you are seeing. Okay. It is semi-translucent because, I had to heat dry this, but not a problem. दिस इज ऑलरेडी मर्ज्ड। अभी हम इसको एनहांस करने के लिए क्या करेंगे, फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, वी आर गोइंग टू ऐड अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ एजिंग। सो फॉर दैट आई एम गोइंग टू यूज अ चॉकलेट सिरप chalk paint. Okay, and so we are going to add the aging to the corners, and then फिर उसके ऊपर हम गोल्ड का पूरा डिटेलिंग करेंगे। Where is the brush? So for that I'll use another brush. Take a little bit of brown, and we are going to dilute it with a lot of water. Okay. Again, take little bit of brown. You can see it has already started merging. And then I'm just using with a light hand, I'm adding that brown and I'm kind of expanding it around the Ganpati also. So everything looks aged. It should not happen कि कुछ area में colorful लग रहा है, कुछ area में aged है. We'll try this. या आई एम थिंकिंग कविता कि मैं शायद क्ले बाद में ही करूंगी क्योंकि वो ड्राई होने को अभी नॉर्मली इवन व्हेन आई डिड द लास्ट पीस let it air dry naturally for a couple of hours. Oh, yeah, I'll do it probably later also because I don't want to kind of make it wrong. Thank you, my quirky craft. Now what we are going to do is you can already see अभी इसके आजू बाजू का अगर आप देखोगे ना closely, so all this is brown, okay, and below this the color is very vibrant. So now what we are going to do is जहाँ पे भी ये stenciling है वहाँ पे we are going to add golds. Now there are two ways to add the gold detailing. First is of course using wax जो सबका favorite है. So gold wax you could use and add all the detailings. Other thing which I like, which not a lot of people use, is to use texture paste. Okay, with texture paste, why I like is it dries quickly and it gives me that immediate, gold kind of an effect. So what I'm going to do is, this is the paste, right? So मैंने इसको हाथ में ऐसे ऐसे करके I have taken it like a how you use like a blusher or eyeshadow. Take it with your hand and then just apply it like so. ठीक है, जैसे आप वैक्स अप्लाई करते हो वैसे यू कैन अप्लाई this. Okay, and then you can just to see how it looks, right? You can write immediately. So here you can, I don't know if you can see the shine, but in person the shine is really pretty. Like let me just show it to you on a red. Do you see that shine near the red? So this is how shiny you can make. Again, you could go as much as you want. You could go as less as you want. What I'll do is there I have shown you this and here I'll show you some wax. Okay. So people can see both the things. So again, here also same thing. Take some in your hand. Okay. Apply it like how you would apply, like makeup. Yeah. So you can see the shine here, right? On the red, you can see this gold shine. So that is what is the shine. Now again, our wax, it kind of gives that subtle look. So if you want to go with like a subtle look, which is just a light shine, you could use wax. If you want to go like on your face gold look, like how I have done here and here around the red, you could use texture paste. But both of them will give you very different look depending on what you want to do. Sometimes I want to like here, I feel the wax is looking better with the stenciling. On the crackle, I used wax, but I was not happy. So I went back and I applied golden texture paste. So here, if you see this whole peeled effect, right? Iske upar ye golden texture paste was coming out really pretty. So you could do that also. And if you want even more gold, you could have mixed our mica powders with clear texture paste and made your own, like a very gold color texture paste or whatever. You could have directly used our golden texture paste also and then combined it with brown. Or you could have also used our golden mica with crackle texture paste to kind of create golden cracks. So there are many ways to go using the same thing. Yes, yes, replay is available, so you could definitely see the replay. Not a problem. People will be able to see replay. I am not sure whether we'll keep the replay on Instagram, but replay will be available on YouTube and Facebook. So this is how the detailing has been done. Okay, now you could, if you want to do even more vintage effect, you could have added more brown. I kind of did not want to do a lot of vintage effect. I want the colors to show through the stenciling, and that is why I have kept it very minimal, the browns. So that is the like the waxing part. I One more tip: if you are new to wax and if you want your wax to dry quickly, what you could do is thank you, Happy Griff 25. So you could heat dry it. That will help it dry faster. Okay. If you are in a pinch and you want to dry it quickly. Now, just to show you, I don't know if the camera is able to pick up all these subtle details of the waxes and the texture paste. So here is the texture paste, okay? And here is the wax. So you could do both the effect depending on, what kind of effect you want to go for. And you can see how beautiful the clear paste looks through all the colors. Now, you could have skipped this also, and you could have kept that abstract painting look also, but that is still showing through all the stenciling. So that also looks cool. Now, what part is left is, once this is dry, okay, I'm going to paint this gold and then I'm going to stick this here, okay, using acrylic soft gel. Okay, so this will stick even metal also on top of your projects if you want to stick metal. So it's that strong of a bond. So that is what I'm going to use here, like just below the Ganpati. So that I'll do it, and then that will complete the entire project. But unfortunately, the clay is not yet dry because it is quite thick. So we'll have to wait. But just to show you, you can see already the golden texture paste has started drying. And do you see that golden shine that you're getting in the corners? Right? So that is the beauty of golden texture paste. Once dry, it will become like this, completely opaque and a lot of golden shine. So that is what you can get here also. If you want to add, subtle shine, go with wax. If you want to add very strong shine, go with texture paste. Okay, you can do both the looks. And that will complete the project. I'll complete this part, and then I'll complete I'll create a reel and show it to you guys, and I'll take some pictures. But yeah, we will have to wait, unfortunately, for the later pictures, especially for the gold part and all that. I'll still do a little bit more detailing, but yeah, that's the idea. I just wanted to show you both the ways. And यहाँ पे क्या आप कर सकते हो, ये unfortunately अभी dry नहीं हुआ है, but bottom line, ये जो श्री में मैंने किया है ना, वैसा ही I'm going to paint this entire thing, and ये पूरा श्री गणेशाय नमः आपको visible हो जाएगा, जैसे यहाँ पे हुआ है श्री गणेशाय नमः वैसा. So you will be able to see that completely. So this is my colorful project, guys. It is completely out of my area. It was something that just started with the idea okay, we can do something like this. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how both the pieces turned out. Very different look. Like this is a very vintage look, and this is a very like stenciled and colorful look. Perfect for upcoming festive season. So as I said, don't kind of restrict your ideas to just like a panel. You could always do bigger panels. You could do a wall panel. You could also do this in a mandir. And as I said, the combination that I have used, red, yellow and orange, those I wanted to try out vibrant combination. इसके लिए मैंने vibrant combination किया, but you could have gone with like monochromes, you could have gone with browns and yellows, you could have gone with blues and greens if you wanted to do. It depends on what kind of project you are doing. And also these two tutorials, as I said, with Ganpati ka napkin that I made. This is a washable potli, and this is another plaque with a little bit different technique. Both these tutorials are also going to come out on my channel. It will come out next month. Right now they are still needs to be edited, pictures need to be taken and all that. But next week I am releasing 2 new YouTube videos for Rakhi. So in case if you are interested, do check out my YouTube channel. That's going to come on my YouTube channel, Khyati, and you can check out those 2 Rakhis. And also next week we have a live with Anamika, where we are going to do some fun projects. I don't know what she has in mind, so we'll see what she makes, but that's the idea. Thank you, Crafty Soul. I hope you watch the replay and you love it. And yes, I hope you enjoy the final product. I'll share the reel with you all very soon. And yeah, thank you guys for being from the start to the end, for those of you who could make it. And for those of you who are watching it later on, I hope you enjoy the replay. But please do, come and try and come in live. I really enjoy the whole chatty lives normally. Today's live was not so chatty. So I hope, people do come more and, it's more chatty live. But yeah, I'll see you next week with Anamika in another live. And today, we are done with our festive project. I will share reels soon. And I will see you with another tutorial on my YouTube channel next week. Till then, guys, take care. And thank you again